Every sunrise feels the same, until one day you realize years have disappeared. What if the reason life feels faster isn't because time is speeding up, but because your brain has quietly stopped paying attention? Most of us believe we're running out of time, but neuroscience tells a different story. The real enemy isn't the clock. It's routine. It's distraction. It's a mind trapped on autopilot. In today's episode, we'll uncover why childhood felt endless, why adulthood seems to vanish in a blur, and the surprising science behind making life feel longer again. Because the goal isn't to live more years. It's to truly experience the ones you already have. This is Mind Over Matter. Let's begin. If you live an average human lifespan, you get roughly 30,000 days. By your early 30s, you've already spent over 10,000 of them. If you're nearing retirement, that number is closer to 25,000. Think back to childhood, when a single summer vacation felt like an eternity. Today, an entire year can slip by before you've even realized it started. This happens because of how the brain processes the proportionality of time. Every passing year feels smaller. Relative to the total life you've already lived, to a 5-year-old, one single year represents 20% of their entire existence. To a 50-year-old, that same year is a mere 2%. This mathematical curve is a natural part of aging, but it doesn't explain why modern life feels like it's accelerating at an impossible rate. To find that answer, we have to look at a biological glitch in how we navigate our daily routines. The human brain functions less like a ticking clock and more like camera deciding which moments are worth saving to your long-term memory. Your brain's primary trigger for hitting record is novelty. Childhood is packed with firsts, learning to ride a bike, tasting a new food, or starting school. Because these experiences are unique, the brain encodes them with high density. As adults, we rely on predictable routines to conserve mental energy. We take the same commute, eat the same meals, and check the same apps without new stimuli, the brain simply recording, leaving a gap in our memory that makes time feel like it's skipping forward. For 99.9% of human history, our perception of time was anchored by the natural world. Our ancestors spent half their lives enveloped by a darkness so thick they couldn't see their own hands. Waking hours were dictated by the sun, with daylight dedicated to the shared labor of hunting, foraging, and community survival. The discovery of fire carved a sanctuary of light out of that darkness. It shifted the night from a bit of danger to a dedicated space for storytelling and social bonding. This environment created a unique rhythm of rest called first and second sleep. People would rest for a few hours, wake for a period of quiet reflection or conversation at midnight, and return to sleep until dawn. In this world, the biological clock remained synchronized. Life was tethered to the shifting angle of the sun and the communal rhythms of the hearth, preventing the mental blur we experience today. Humanity detached from this biological anchor the moment the incandescent bulb flickered on. Today, the smartphone screen has replaced the night sky as our central cognitive focus, pulling our attention into a digital loop. A typical modern cycle is full of invisible time leaks. We bounce between emails and notifications, creating a high dopamine environment that offers zero actual novelty. Scrolling compresses our perception of time because the physical motion is identical for hours. The brain finds nothing unique to encode into memory. We lose our grasp on where the hours went because we have failed to create the distinct sensory memories that define a day. While we often hear that human attention spans are naturally shrinking, the reality is that our brains are simply burning out on digital chaos. The sensation of time accelerating is a direct consequence of replacing novel physical experiences with repetitive digital habits. Reclaiming our remaining portion of those 30,000 days requires an intentional effort to disrupt digital time compression. A dopamine detox serves as a neurological reset. By removing automated digital stimulation, you restore the brain's sensitivity to the novelty around you. This graph shows the physiological timeline of that reset. It takes a full 30-day for the chaotic spikes of digital addiction to settle into a natural, steady baseline in your workspace. Applying the 3-touch rule eliminates passive distraction. By requiring that you complete your goal within 3 physical touches of a device, you regain control over your focus. These systems don't create more hours in the day. They simply restore the brain's capacity to actually process the time you have left. To slow down perceived time, intentionally inject physical novelty into your week. This means taking new routes, learning tactile skills, or choosing screen-free moments. Seeking out these analog experiences alerts the nervous system, forcing the brain's internal camera to hit record again. The remaining dots on your 30,000-day grid represent a blank canvas of potential. We cannot change the number of days we are given, but we possess the tools to make them feel abundant again. You were never promised more than about 30,000 days. But every day your brain chooses whether that day becomes a memory or simply disappears. Maybe slowing life down doesn't require more vacations, more money, or more free time. Maybe it begins with something much simpler: noticing, experiencing, and living with intention. This week, try one new experience. Walk a different street. Leave your phone behind for an hour. Learn something with your hands. Give your brain a reason to press record. If this video changed the way you see time, share it with someone who's always saying, "I don't know where the years went." Subscribe to Mind Over Matter, where psychology meets neuroscience to help you understand your mind and reclaim your life. Until next time, stay curious, stay present, and remember, your mind shapes your reality.